Welcome to Zen with Gwen meditation sessions. Hi, I'm Gwendolyn. This will be an anger meditation. Although we'll focus on anger for today, the techniques can also be applied to any difficult or even any positive emotion. This may be a more difficult practice, but that's all part of the process. And I think it's important to note right up top that I'm not going to tell you not to be angry. There's no spiritual gold star that you win for having no feelings of anger. There's no special trophy for being a top-notch meditator, for only ever having positive emotions. Unpleasant emotions are part of life, but my hope is that something in here is helpful for you to find a greater sense of ease in your own life. So let's take a moment here to get into a position that you think would be the most beneficial for this practice. So you may like to do it walking, looking out a window, sitting, or lying down. The choice is yours. And then once you're ready, let's tune in to how you're feeling right now. It may help to notice how much of you is feeling angry. So is this anger 100% all-consuming, really taking over your whole experience? Or is it more of a background nagging sensation somewhere down around the 10% mark? It may also be helpful to choose a different vocabulary to describe your anger. You may feel angry, mad, irritated, perturbed, affronted, indignant, hostile, resentful, displeased, annoyed, hangry, wrathful, exasperated, incensed, inflamed, fiery, sharp. It may be more of a slow burn. There may be other feelings wrapped up with it, like shock, hurt, loss, or grief. Maybe there are other sensations going on with the anger, like hunger or tiredness. Maybe you're cold or too hot. Are there other things going on in your life that have triggered this anger outside of the original source? Perhaps this is just the straw that broke the camel's back. Now let's open your awareness to the physical sensations that go along with this anger, checking in with how it changes your breath and heartbeat. You may like to place a hand on your heart or belly to notice how it changes your gut feeling. Is there a visceral reaction to this anger? Noticing if there's a flush in your face, or if the wheels of your brain don't turn with quite the same ease that they do when you're more relaxed. Noticing how much resistance there is in your body to the anger. Is the body trying to push it away by holding tension? Or is the mind trying to push it away by saying, things shouldn't be this way? If there is a great deal of resistance, let's see now if you feel okay experiencing and allowing the anger. You may not be ready to jump in fully, and that's okay. At that point, we can just test out dipping your toe in the anger. Seeing if we can accept it. Sort of like a party guest that we don't like very much. Nevertheless, they were invited to the party, and they're not leaving. You may like to visualize your anger as well as more of a personification. So perhaps picturing yourself inviting your anger into your home and serving it a cup of tea. Again, like an unpleasant party guest, sometimes they're easier to handle if you get to know them better. And maybe your unpleasant emotion will be easier to handle if you get to know it better. We don't have to say yes to it or be all embracing, but we can provide an opportunity to allow the anger to just be. You can also ask yourself if there's anything that you like about being angry. Is there some part of you that enjoys this emotion? Does it feel safe or protective? Perhaps it served you well in the past. Maybe it's familiar or an easy default setting. Now the choice is yours. Remembering that you are always in control, you can choose to mindfully focus on this unpleasant emotion or soften and shift your attention to something more pleasant. Let's put some space between you and your anger, holding it at arm's length. Your anger is just something in you. It is not you. Put another way, you are not this feeling. This feeling is just something you are experiencing. We can take a moment here to really feel the difference between your true identity and the emotion that you're having right now. Who are you at the core of your being? This emotion is not the core of your being. It is as fleeting as the weather. The same way that we shed old cells, we can also shed our emotions from moment to moment, or maybe from one phase of our life to the next. We can take a moment here to practice gratitude. Seeing if there's something about your true self that you appreciate, like, or feel grateful for. It may have more power if you shape it into a sentence. I feel grateful for my blank. Scanning the body from head to toe, let's see if we can bring physical softness into your muscles. Scanning the body from head to toe, noticing where any tension is. It may also be helpful to make a tight fist here and consciously create tension in the body. Seeing how this tension affects your ability to take a deep breath. Seeing how this tension affects your ability to relax and find peace in the moment. And if you are making a fist, relaxing the hands here and allowing the breath and body to relax with it. You can imagine that you are floating down a river. If the river represents your anger, how is the current flowing? Now, if you've ever been in rough waters, you know that fighting the current only makes things harder for you. So we can imagine softening our muscles and allowing ourselves to drift with the current. It may sound scary at first, but eventually the river will run out of steam and become a gentle, smooth stream. And emotions are the same way. If we let them run their course, they soften and lose their strength. Let's see now if you can pick out something that feels pleasant in the body. It may be a physical feeling. It may be the sense of satisfaction that you are practicing mindfulness. Or it could be something going on in your life right now that you're grateful for. There's one more practice that we can try together. It's known as the lake meditation. I like to picture myself sitting at the bottom of a dark blue lake. I visualize the surface of the lake being stirred up by the change of the seasons and the weather that comes and goes. Boats passing over the surface of the water, ducks landing, loons diving, and children swimming and playing. But at the bottom of the lake, I am undisturbed by all of it. You may like to take this visualization into the rest of your day. When you come to bothersome scenarios, picturing yourself at the bottom of that dark blue lake, calm and unbothered by the situations around you. I hope that this practice has been helpful to you in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. From my light to yours, Namaste.